is future me. I can't remember how many past me or future me's featured in this video, but I keep referring to this die set as a Sunday special, but they have changed it and it's just like a one-off extra kind of die set. So sorry if I keep mentioning it as a Sunday special. It is just a one-off die set, but I thought I'd put this in at the beginning so that it doesn't confuse you as well. So enjoy the video. Bye! Hello, welcome to another up close video. Today's one is a little bit different because this is actually a Sunday special. It's not going to be another like designer's choice showcase kind of thing. It's not going to be like a monthly recurrence. This is just kind of like a one-off sort of die set that's within their Sunday special kind of offers that Tonic have on a Sunday. And this one is called Terrific Twist, and you can see there's not much to this die set, but it actually creates a decent sized kind of like little twisted gift basket kind of thing, and you can actually make two different ones. You can do a 6-sided one or an 8-sided one, and I didn't try it, but you might even be able to get a square one out of it as well. If you had a square die with the same length sides as these, or if you just cut a square using your guillotine or your paper trimmer, you might be able to get this to work for a square. I'm not sure how the top part would kind of lock together for a square version, but I say give it a go, especially if you're already, you know, you're going to need 6 or 8 panels to make the hexagonal one or the octagonal one. You might as well see if 4 would work without actually like sticking it together. Just see if it would actually fold round and stuff. And I do have 2 examples of these made up. So I've got a 6-sided one and an 8-sided one that past me will show you later on. And I've also made a couple of cards with this set as well. So hopefully this is going to be a relatively quick video, because I know I do rabbit on a lot in my up close kind of videos. So as this isn't a very jam-packed kind of die set, it shouldn't take me too long to walk through it and show you the examples that I have as well. So it's in a 6x6 packaging, which will go into the medium ring binder storage, or you can put them in the kit one or the designer's choice one as well. They'll just sort of be higher up than the others because the holes are in the centre of this pocket, and you know, proportions wise they'll be sort of more in the middle of the folder. But in this die set we have the octagon, which is actually a lovely decent sized octagon, perfect for creating an aperture on your cards as well. And it gives like a completely different look if you use it point to point, or if you use it flat side to flat side. And you know, this kind of way around, it looks like a stop sign as well. So maybe you could do that for somebody's learning to drive or something, or pass their test or something. You could do like a stop sign, or just somebody loves cars and like traffic kind of things. You could actually do a little stop sign, or you could make that into like a little pin badge as well. You could stick a safety pin on the back. It's quite a nice size to then put numbers on for someone's birthday as well. So you've got that octagon, and let me measure the sides properly for you. So they're 3 centimeters the sides, which is 1 3/16, I think, inches. So that's the kind of size of each side, and that's the same for the hexagon as well. The sides of the hexagon will be the same. And this one is a gorgeous little hexagon, which again you can use on your cards. Great for doing a patchwork kind of card. I did one donkeys years ago when I first got a set of nesting hexagon dies, and I just cut loads of them out of different pattern papers. Then I used a thread cutter to like rough up all of the edges, and then I stuck them all next to each other in the tessellating honeycomb kind of pattern, and I actually sewed them as well. And it gives a really cool kind of design for a card. But if you don't want to do real sewing, you can do faux stitching around it as well, and it gives a really cool effect. So that's great for your card making too, but it's actually the base for this box. And when you're making the boxes, you're going to want 2 bases for each of them. So 2 of the same one, because the side panels have the glue tabs on the bottom, so you're going to want to sandwich them between 2 bottom pieces of the box as well. And then, talking of the side panels, this is the peculiar shaped side panel. I don't really know what it looks like, but it's a very odd shape. I think it's probably one of the oddest shaped side panels that we've ever had in a Tonic die set. But believe it or not, when you actually put all of these together, they do actually create quite a cool looking sort of baskety sort of gift box idea, which you'll see later on in the video. And it's really clever the way it goes together. The way they kind of curve around either the octagon or the hexagon is you will have instructions in this die set to show you this as well, but you will stick one glue tab above. Actually, you need 3 bases on this one, I forgot. Because you stick one above and one below, you actually need a base either side of this one, so you'll need 3 bases for this. Sorry about that. I just remembered that you need 3. But yeah, you stick one above and one below, and that kind of allows this piece to sort of curve nicely and come around the actual shape. So you'll stick one glue tab below, and then this one will go above, and then the next one you stick on, the below tab will be below the above one, if that makes sense, and then the next one will be the above one. So on every single edge you will have one tab stuck above and one tab stuck below. They'll just be from different side panels all the way around. I kind of hopefully show you that a little bit better explained later on in the video. Those are like the main pieces to create this little terrific twist little sort of basket box thing. Then you also get the panel to decorate the side, which again is a very peculiar looking shape, but you get that if you want to just do it from patterned paper. But if you want to add your actual like die cut pattern in, you can actually use the gorgeous patterned die, which kind of has this sort of rainbow sort of effect, or it almost looks like little Wi-Fi symbols like for the signal strength, and it's kind of like an overall sort of design. This design it is kind of like a repeated pattern, but because of the way the panel is created, all of these pieces here have edges, so these weird shaped pieces around the edge kind of stops you from being able to repeat die cut this to get a whole panel out. But it is possible, and on the cards that I've done I'll show you how it is kind of possible to do it. And if there are any places where you forgot to like partially die cut the die and some of these weird bits have cut into other bits of decoration that you've already cut, you can just hide it with your sentiment, and it looks like then that it's an overall pattern, but you're just hiding the joins, and it looks really lovely as like an overall patterned design as well for other applications rather than just doing this box too. Then you also have a lovely gift tag. So you've got this gorgeous circle gift tag, which will be useful for all sorts of other different projects as well, not just to go on this box. And the gift tag actually measures, the diameter is 1.5 inches or just under 4 centimeters. So it's a decent sized little tag there that you could make birthday themed, you could do a thank you one, you could put some snowflakes on it and make it a Christmas little gift tag. It's just lovely to have little different gift tags in your stash. And then you have 3 different sentiments to go on this as well. You've got the outside circle, which will perfectly mount onto your gift tag, whether you do it both sides or just one side, depending on whether it's just a decorative gift tag or whether you're going to write on the other side. And then to go inside it, you have sweet time. So I'm guessing you'd like fill this basket up with sweets, and then you've got sweet time as the little sentiment, which will fit inside the circle die. And then you also have one of the debossing sentiments as well, which says have a treat, and it's got a couple of little flourishes on there. And then this one actually has its circular edge already part of it, so it completely cuts out the design. And this one says just one more, which I really like actually. I used it all the way, well, on 4 of the 8 sides of my octagonal basket, because it's kind of like if it was filled with sweets, you're always like, oh, I'll just have one more, I'll just have one more. It's quite nice to have that in a die because it kind of makes it funny as well. So those are all the dies in this little 6x6 Sunday special set, and I will now pass you on to Past Me to show you what this set actually makes and show you a couple of the little boxes. So these are my 2 samples created using the Terrific Twist little box. One is hexagon and one is octagonal, and I just wanted to show you the 2 actual kind of like made up ones, and you can see how this beautiful twist kind of happens around it, and then you've still got enough rim in there to be I mean, maybe if you had a succulent or something with a small plant pot, you might be able to fit that in there. Or you could gift or use it as a pen pot for things like aquaflows or something on your desk, and it's like a beautiful pen pot. Or it could be a gift for somebody, maybe they've started a new job and then you're giving them like a pen pot to have on their desk or something. Or you could fill it full of sweets, and it kind of looks like a flower almost. And for both of these I have used the raspberry and the aubergine textured Craft Perfect cardstock, and then on the raspberry colour on both of them I have used the pink Icing Glacier paste just to add some sparkle to it. Because this is kind of like curving round like it is, it's got it needs to be quite manoeuvrable, so I would probably suggest only putting one layer on. So either pick the detailed pattern or just use the shape and put like a patterned paper on there or something, so that you can still have that manoeuvrability of the cardstock, and it's going to curve round nicely for you as well. So I decided to add some Glacier paste to the solid of this one, so that it kind of gives more of a special feel to it rather than it just being one die cut stuck on top of here as well. But you can definitely do whatever you want to for this kind of project. So that is what the six-sided one looks like, and then I'm not going to do a construction because it is literally just cutting however many sides, whether you want 6 sides or 8 sides. You will need 3 of the base shape because you will stick the pieces above and below one of the shapes. That's how you get this kind of curvature to work. Each piece has 2 tabs on it, and you will stick one above the hexagon and one below the hexagon all the way around. And then you will want another one to finish the bottom of the box and to finish the inside of the box as well. So you want 3 of your base pieces and then however many sides of the base piece that you have chosen to do, and that is how simple it is to create your little twist box. You should get instructions in it of the, you know, placing one above and below the actual base shape, but I wanted to show you how I was sticking these top pieces together, because you can see I just pegged it all to sort of make sure it was all going to go round nicely to get this twist effect. But the way I did mine, or on this one, I used 3D foam behind all of these little areas, but you can definitely just use wet glue if you want to as well. And I'm not 100% sure how much you're supposed to pull it in, whether you can do it less, but then I wasn't sure how you could be consistent all the way around. But with this one I pegged it all the way around just to check, and you can definitely do that with yours as well to make sure you're going to do it how you want it to be done. And for this one I alternated, so every other one says just one more, so I thought this is quite a nice one to be like loads of chocolates in there, and it's like just one more, just one more, just one more, all the way around. And then I've alternated the little patterned panels in there as well, but I had it pegged so that you can see exactly what this is going to look like when it's together. But I also wanted to leave it unpegged so that I could show you what it's going to look like once you have done, you know, sticking the panels together. So you end up with this kind of rather peculiar looking thing that, I mean, you could even use it up this way for some other kind of project as well. I mean, it almost looks like some kind of octopus. If you use like another one of Tonic's boxes upside down, I'm sure you could make some kind of head for it, and it could be like an octopus with all of the 8 tentacles coming round as well. So I'm sure you could build this into something else if you have a little think about it. But I just wanted to show you what it kind of looks like when you get it together to this point, so that you can kind of see how it is supposed to sort of pull or twist round more. And then everything is supposed to stick together to bring the whole shape round and bring it up more into like a bowl kind of shape with these sort of bulging pieces on the sides as the sides are curving. Because I just thought when I was putting this together, I was kind of like, have I done this right? Because it was looking a little bit peculiar. I started with the 6-sided one. I think that one looks odder than this one does. But yeah, I just wanted to show you exactly what it's kind of going to look like when you get it all together. And again, you want the 3 bases so that you can line the inside, and then you've got the one that you've actually was sticking the tabs to. And when you're sticking the tabs, you can do it whatever way you want to, but what I was doing is I put adhesive onto one of the tabs on one side, and then on the actual base of it I put adhesive all over it so that I could just peel off the glue tab, stick that to the top, and then the bottom one I didn't have to worry about peeling off the glue tab. I could just stick it to the bottom that was covered in adhesive, because you're going to cover it anyway. But you could definitely just take the original shape and cover it with a red liner tape on both sides of it, so that you can then stick one tab above and one tab below, and you're not worrying about you know, taking off all of the little pieces of red liner tape. But definitely experiment with how you want to do it. And then so for putting this one together, on this one I did use the foam tape, and I think it works really nicely actually, so I'm going to do that again. So all I was doing was taking a nice low profile foam tape. You could definitely use a thicker one, but just bear in mind you might be able to see it. So if you were doing this out of black, for example, you definitely want to use some black 3D foam to stick this together. But I was literally just cutting a little strip, cutting it into little pieces, and then sticking them onto these tabs. I just got to make sure that's not going to be too big. It's a little bit too big. You might want to do half that kind of size for this one, because I think this overlaps less than the 6-sided one. I think you can wrap the 6-sided one tighter because it's got less sides to kind of come round. But I was just putting a piece of foam tape on all of these, and then I did peg it again. Even though I had used foam tape, I was pegging it just to make sure you know, everything stayed where I had put it, and it wasn't going to all ping apart as I'm going round the rest of it or anything. So we're just going to put the little pieces on all of those, and we can just take all of them off, or you can do one at a time if you'd rather. I just wanted to show you this part of the construction, just so it made it a little bit clearer for you. But it is a really simple box to put together. It's literally like just sticking 3 elements for each side and then putting another base and an inside on it. So all you want to do is just pull that round and then stick it. And I don't think there is actually a specific place to line it up to. I mean, it kind of looks like you line this point up with that slit, but I suppose as you go round it's slightly harder to see that, but you're kind of lining it up and leaving a little gap as you go round, and we'll peg it again just to make sure it stays stuck. You're kind of just pulling it as far as it will go really, and then it sort of stops at that point when you pull it round. It just naturally wants to stop there. So it's quite a sort of intuitive kind of construction. But it does seem a bit weird when you're first putting it together. You're kind of like, how do I know how far to pull this round, you know, to get it to be the actual shape it's intended to be. But you'll see when we get to the last one, so you can see how easy that was just to stick them all together. But once you get to the last one, you can see how it builds that gorgeous like pot kind of shape. And this one definitely could be to go round a flower pot that you're giving somebody, like a small house plant or something. You could definitely put one of them in there to give it to someone, or maybe even a mug or something might fit in there, or like a whole little kit to go you know, like to be a hot chocolate kit or something with little sachets and some mini marshmallows and stuff like that, and maybe a spoon, or you know, you could actually build it out to be kind of like a little hamper sort of thing, a different design of a hamper. And I quite like this alternating design as well, because I mean, this one's got 8 sides. There's quite a few times you need to cut this. Obviously you've got to cut them 8 times, all these decorative panels, so it's quite nice to alternate, and then you don't have to cut one for every single side. Then you can alternate in there as well. And I think it still looks quite neat on the inside actually. If you were worried about the inside, you could line it with pattern paper if you wanted to, you know, just cutting another one of these panels out. I think you would have to line it before you put it together. I think it definitely would look neater if you lined it before you brought everything round together, but you could definitely line it if you wanted to. But I just wanted to show that all made up for you. So I'll pass you on to future me to finish off the video. So hopefully what I was saying at the beginning of the video now makes sense after you've been able to see what the die set actually creates. And then I've also created a couple of cards just to show you how you can actually use those octagon and hexagon apertures to create a card. And then I've actually used the patterned panel to go behind the apertures, but don't forget you can just use anything from your stash as well. This could be an embossing folder, it could be a patterned paper, it could be a jelly printed background, it could be a gorgeous Nuvo encrusted kind of background, either with expanding mousse or glimmer paste and gems and sequins and all sorts of stuff could be behind these apertures. But for these ones I wanted to just keep it just using the die set, although I have added in some stamp sentiments as well. But the first one that I've done is using that gorgeous octagon aperture, and I did actually use it flat sides, like to be up and down, but if you twist it you get a different kind of look as well. And you could actually cut it once this way and then twist the die and cut it again, and then you'd end up with like a 16 pointed kind of shape as well. You could do that to make it look a little bit different too. And then I have used the repeating pattern die, or the actual decorative pattern die, to create an overall background. And there is one piece that's a little bit off that's still showing that I can show you just here. You can see how I've obviously lined it up and cut it again, and there's like a couple of little discrepancies within the repetitive pattern, but other than that I've managed to hide anywhere else where that kind of thing happened, and you would just think that was an overall pretty design. So it's really easy to kind of hide it and just make it part of the design as well. And I've used some glitter card in the background, but I felt like this was looking a little bit too empty, so all I did was take some scraps of the glitter card and just cut a couple of little semicircles in different sizes, and then just cut a little circle. I just did them freehand with my scissors because I was being too lazy to go and find little circle dies, but if you have little circle dies, or maybe heart dies, star dies, anything like that, you could use that to kind of give the same sort of effect. Or you could use little stamped images perhaps, or maybe sequins and stuff as well, would give a similar kind of idea, just to sort of fill in the space a little bit, because that's quite a large aperture to just only have a stamped sentiment in. And then for the sentiment I've done "Thank you for your kindness," and this is a little A6 stamp set. It came out quite a while ago now. I can't 100% remember what it came out with. I want to say it was either some kind of like tag die set, or possibly some patterned panels or something like that. If I can find this again on the website I'll link it below, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it again because I don't have the name of it. But anything that I've shown in this video, like colours of cardstock and the die sets and anything like the stamp sets that I can still find for sale, I will put affiliate links below the video as well. So then, as well as that one using the octagon, I've also done this one with 3 different hexagons. And this is actually, behind the hexagon is just the patterned die cut once, just into a piece of card. So I haven't used the outside edge, I've just used the one that cuts into the card. And you can actually fill the whole hexagon with that design, bar like tiny little bits here showing where the design doesn't completely, you know, go right to the edge. But other than that, you can't really tell again that this is a panel off the side of a very peculiar shaped side panel of a box. It kind of just looks like an overall background panel, and when you're trying to fit it into the hexagons, it actually makes you turn it to a different direction, which looks really nice. So you've got the scallops going downwards on this one, or downwards that way, or upwards that way. So it kind of just gives a different sort of effect as well, mixing them around. And then I've used another one of those sentiments off that stamp set as well. So just really simple cards, and I just wanted to show you a couple of ideas, just because this die set was such a small little one, and I only had the 2 boxes to show you. I thought I'd do a couple of cards just to kind of show how you could use them as well. And I use the same colours as the boxes too, so technically you could use maybe this card with the hexagon one and this card with the octagon one as well, as a little set as well. So I hope you enjoyed this up close video looking at Tonic's Sunday special, the Terrific Twist. And don't forget, everything is linked in the description below the video, just like always. They're always there, the links to anything that I've shown, or anything that I can definitely find on the website that I've shown as well. So I really appreciate you watching the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye!